Hey everybody, this is Container Check, live from the ground. I'm still running my errands, and one of them is going to this car wash that's touchless. It's kind of cool, and where I live, nearby where I live, and I just figured I could make a video while I'm waiting for them to do the exterior
Welcome to our car wash.
of my car.
Please select to wash by touching the corresponding button on the screen, or touch the enter code button to enter your code.
Hold on, everybody. It's like really automated, so you gotta put money in. I really don't agree with hold on.
Please insert payment now.
Getting rid of people altogether, but this is where we are, and make conveniences whatever you need to do.
Please, thank you. Please pull forward slowly into the wash.
Yeah, whatever you need to do to get what you need to get done. And so it's an automatic car wash where it's brushless, I guess. And it does. Oh, let me roll my window up. That would be a good idea, right? And I guess you can see it's at drive forward, and there's like a green light, and it tells you when to stop. There's like a little lump here, like a little speed bump thing here. Now it says back up a little bit, and drive forward. Okay, tells you to stop, and it's gonna start washing my car. Anyway, so you can see the the sensors and everything going by. I like this place because I can get my car washed, and I like to clean the inside because of earrings, money, personal items, this and that. I'm gonna spend the time doing that beforehand. I could get my car washed, go home and do it in front of my house, and even vacuum it. But with that being said, yeah, I made a video earlier about some things that we learn every day. We're always learning. There are some people that say, oh, I'm not going to school anymore because I don't need to go to no school. I'm grown. I know everything. That's the one person that knows nothing. Okay, when you say you know everything, that means you don't know ish. Okay, because every day you're gonna learn. And I mentioned in the video before this about learning about what certain care means in a hospital when you take someone off of a breathing tube, it's called comfort care, and other things I've learned also, not just today but recently, that was mentioned in a video by Led Farmer. He was talking about the rents, and about how you could be homeless and never have a house to come no matter what. And one of the things he mentioned a little bit into the video is that some people, a friend of his said, first thing you gotta do to get yourself in order or keep yourself in order is to let some people go. And I started crying when I got to that part, and I had comment that he's right, because some of those people too you have to let go can also be your children. And as parents, we get blamed for how they turned out. No matter if you did something or if you didn't do anything, you get the credit or you get the blame. And I know for myself as a parent, before I became a parent, I had different opinions, but I really wasn't harsh on parents, because I'm not that person to say, oh, this is how you should do it. And I'm damn sure not that person to tell a parent of someone who's older than my offspring how to do anything. If anything, I'm deferring for your advice to you for your advice, because I don't know nothing. I damn sure don't know nothing, compared to a parent that's got grown kids with kids who got kids that got kids. I can't tell you nothing. You grown and they grown. I have to defer to you for some stuff. I don't care what your age is, because you could be 30 and have a child older than mine, and my baby's 5. There's no book. They always say it. You can do your best, all right? And your best may not be good enough, maybe too much, or maybe whatever it's going to be. But I tell you what, that's all you got is your best. some people go, right? And I commented, and including your children. Now, that's a big special one because we raise them from, babyhood on, and we do things that we think they will want, that they need, appreciate, or, we do things in order to give them a step higher, a step up, or a comfortable platform to be and fly, and some of them just don't want it. It didn't dawn on me until the other day that all the preparing that parents do, you could be wasting your time because your kids may not want what you got to give. I don't care if it's riches or not. I don't care if it's a car. I don't care if it's a good schooling. I don't care if it's good food. I don't care if it's love. Some of them don't want that either. There are kids out here who want to grind when they never known grind. They want hardship when they never known hardship. They will call hardship you not allowing them to be or do something that is detrimental to their well-being, such as cutting your skin up and writing all over your face. And your parents could tell you if they are Christians, and they're just as an example, we don't agree with tattoos. Oh, you want to run my life? You want to tell me who my friends are? This and that, blah 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 blah. Now I'm gonna go here because I don't care what color you are, or what your race is, or your nationality. If you're raising kids, you're raising kids. All right, you are literally dealing with people. You are developing a new person, and it's always touch and go, right? But in my culture, Black culture, depending on where you're from, there's certain things that was done. I know in Hispanic culture, depending on what country you're from, there's some things that are done that are not done. I know in Italian culture, depending on what level you're from, if you're from Italy or you're from here, whatever generation, there are some things that I know based on that culture that you did, or you don't do. And in Black culture, and we're a little bit different, but we're still parents of different cultures. In Black culture, you call yourself African American or Afro American after hairstyle, I don't know. There's certain things that we do and we don't do that was done to me. I'm not saying, or done for me or about me or with me. I'm not saying that they were incorrect or correct or the best way or whatever. They did what they knew that they've learned from what was done to them. Good, bad, different, indifferent. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, right? And there's some things that we just did not allow, we did not do. We could all blame society on it. I know some Spanish folks too, or Hispanic folks from different countries who are now mentioning that their kids that they came here as immigrants or what have you, and their kids that were born here are exhibiting some of the same ills of this particular society, the disrespectful ills. And so you can work what I learned basically in my long-windedness here, is that you can bust and you can bust rocks all you want. Your kids don't want it, they don't. Okay, did you waste your time? Nope. You did what you thought was required of you as a decent parent, and they will judge you accordingly. You could be the best parent on the planet, they will say you were horrible. They will make up shit. Yes, they will make shit up about you. Oh, when I was 11, you didn't let me have Frosted Flakes. You bought the ShopRite brand or the store brand. And that's the reason why they acted up, because they didn't get the brand of Frosted Flakes that you didn't buy. No consideration for the fact that maybe you couldn't afford to buy them, because it's not their business whether you can afford stuff. Now, my sister says that the children from the 90s and the 2000s need to be fucking recalled. That is what she said. And I said, it's not just me. She said, no. She said, it's something else. She don't care where they're from. And I said, all right, it doesn't make me feel good, but it makes me feel that I've learned something about all of my efforts and what I thought I was doing based on no knowledge that I didn't have other than me being taught up a certain way. And one of the things that we were taught, not by even told, it was never told to us to respect your parents or respect anyone. You just did. Because if you didn't, they beat your ass. Okay, do you hear me? They beat your ass. My Spanish friend, Hispanic friend, happens to be Hispanic. She said, you kneeled on rice and you liked it. They beat your ass. If they beat your ass. My friend Chetna, she said, if you cut your hair, anyone in your family would beat your ass. Okay? They beat you. She didn't curse. Now, I'm just telling you what she said. But no, she didn't curse. She said, they will beat you. She said, my uncle beat me for clipping my ends. When you can clip your ends and your ends make your hair a little bit more healthy. She said, my uncle beat me. And nobody in the family said anything. She said many things happened with the girls. She didn't say anything about abuse in that respect, sexual abuse, anything. But she said many things. I think she was alluding to that. She said, but they beat you. If the uncle thought your hair was too short, he beat you. And ain't nobody said nothing. You respected your elders. You did what they told you to do, even marrying a stranger. She said she met her husband. She knew her husband from India. And she said there was another young man from India that she knew also, because they all knew each other. The families knew each other. And she liked him. And she supposedly he was her boyfriend. But her family chose her husband to marry her. And she did. And she stayed with him until he died. She said, you didn't pick nobody. You married him, whether you were happy or not. That was it. She said that her husband suffered from depression, even as a child. And everyone knew, but they told her, this is who you're going to marry, and that will be that. And that is what she did. There were no questions asked. And she said she met up with him literally a month before. She knew him from India, but she married him. And that was that. Because your parents knew best. Or maybe they didn't know best. But what they did do was tell you what to do, and you did it. And it was in your best interest. Now, this is not to say, we're not talking about those people that have had parents who are people, by the way, who maybe have had some mental illness. Now, a lot of people, oh, you keep talking about mental illness. No, I mean mental illness in the way that not everybody is a medical situation. Most people aren't. But everybody here in this diaspora, a word I hate, or this society or these societies is suffering the ills of mental illness. When you're not well, you don't have wellness, then you have illness, because maybe you're thinking. But for your society, maybe putting a bone in your nose is still wellness. But if you put on nothing, then that may be considered a mental illness. So, it just depends. And so, there are people who have abused their children, like literally abused their children. There are people that starve their children, literally don't give them any food. There are people that, sexually abuse their children, literally taking advantage of their children in their house. There are people that do many things, okay? But we parents that are halfway sane, who have our faults, because we are still people too, and we were raised by other people, and we try to do the best. The ones of us who are really trying what we think is the best, that's who I'm talking about, right? Not the percentage of folks that's just off the hook, and we know we can't count who that is, because some people think that they're okay and they're not. And I'm often of the mindset that if you say that you're okay in this society, then I know you're not okay, because everybody gets it. So with that being said, that's what we're talking about. Parents that are really trying, and as dictated by the society, you're going to work, you're coming home, you're paying the bills, you're providing a decent home, best of your abilities, you bed, sleep, comfort, blah, 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 love, good words, bad words, chastisement, whatever. So those are the parents I'm talking about, who really are trying. And the parents that decided, you know what, I don't be bothered with you, I'm gonna move on, let somebody else raise you. Them too, because they made a decision, right? So anyway, speaking on those parents and those people, you will do whatever you want to do. We work, a lot of us work our fingers to the bone between arranging for schools, daycare centers, the best we can afford. If you must be outside of the house, or making a sacrifice, so to speak, where one parent is home with the other child, with the children, and raising the children, while one parent goes out and work out in the world, and in the societies we're in now. And now it takes like 4 parents to work, okay, if you only got 2. If there was ever a reason for the village to be involved in raising of the children, it is now, because of how expensive it is just to exist. So, I saw a clip on YouTube of Dr. Africa, and he said, if you wanna kill a society, break up the family. When there is a man and a woman, a loving man, he said black male and black female, loving black male and female in the home, raising the kids together with love, they can make it. But if you break that up, then you're going to have things that are are just haphazard, and you cannot account for. You can factor in, if one of the parents died, because people die, but then that's when the village kicks in, and so he's right, and I don't care what your race is. A mother and a father that are loving each other can take care of the family. Now, whatever that mother and father do, whatever their means are, those children still get to decide who they want to be. And I learned that if they want to be a mean person, no matter where they got it from, if they didn't get it from, if they just decided that they feel that way, maybe they got some organic stuff going on, inorganic stuff, I don't know, they're going to be that person. So you could raise them up the way they should go, and they will go left if that is what they choose. We all have free will. And that's a big thing, because you forget that your children have free will too. So you could say, as my grandma said once, I had 9 children and I raised them all the same, and only one of them got on drugs. And I used to listen to her and say this all the time. And then I had my own children. And once I had my own children, I realized that I understand what she was saying. And maybe she meant with the same values, but she, oh, I have a call coming in. This is odd. She was talking about the fact that she gave them the same values, and only one got on drugs. Now, being on drugs, I don't know if that's a value issue, but I think it's societal, whatever it is. I don't understand what she said, but I didn't know until I had my own children that you have to account for the fact that they're different people. I only had 2 children, Sharon, and only one of them, and they're different people. They're 7 years apart, 2 daughters. They're different people, like different learners. They look different. They look like my husband and I look, a little bit of my husband, a little bit of me. And one girl looks like I look now, and the other girl looks like I used to look in my 20s, and she's in her 20s. And the younger one is 18, and she has the same body shape I have now. And in my 20s, I had a different body shape. And so that was what was interesting. And I could look at both of their hands and I see a little bit of me, a little bit of that, And so it's interesting, but they're different people, different attitudes, everything. So how do I raise the 2 of them the same when they have different needs? One's more tactile, the other one was not, a different kind of learner, So we have to account for that, but we didn't know that. I didn't know that. Nobody told me that, and nobody probably told my grandma, who's using all the same methods and tools to raise 9 kids, and all of them different. And the one that did get out there on drugs, I believe that he had a little bit of, I don't want to say autism, but a little bit of learning disability based on certain things. Cool as ever. He may have been dyslexic, like I think I've spoken about this before, maybe unposted, but I remember when the Cosby Show realized that Theo was dyslexic, and that's why he's having trouble in school. And I was like, whoa, like who knows? A lot of people may have been dyslexic. That's why they didn't, do well in school. And then, because you don't know what they're seeing, so they discover these things. So with that being said, they may not want what you got to give. And I'm talking to the point of, I want to give you the best education I can afford. I don't want it. You want to walk to wherever you're going on these mean streets, and I'm trying to put you in a car. Okay? You want to run things the way you want to run things, and I'm telling you no, because I know how this goes, because I know the history of you marking up your body. You can't undo it. I want an ear piercing. Okay, I am not against ear piercings. However, I am against things that are going to start and you're going to keep doing it. We could all get hooked on anything. And when it comes to tattoos and things, everybody I know who has them will tell you, I got this one and I got that one and I got this one and I got that one and this one, this and that. And now you got like 100 tattoos. And one person said to me, well, look at my tattoo, my so. And I was like, well, why so many? Oh, I do whatever makes me happy. I said, but if one tattoo didn't make you happy, certainly 60 haven't. Now you're right in the top of your foot and you still ain't happy. Okay? And they say it's not contagious. What's the word? Like it's addictive. And then you run out of spot. Now you're writing on your face. Now, if you're a Christian or a believer of any scripture, you're going to be like, those are entry points, yada, yada, yada. But then, you talk about religion. No, there's a guide. We need a guide. because obviously somebody's giving you a guide to write on your face. Paper's out of style. Now, you didn't raise your kids, that's popular culture maybe, and it's some other stuff too, but you know, you raised your children to be healthy young women and keep themselves covered, and they want to have their titties out. Oh, that's old-fashioned, yada, yada, yada. Listen, we've been down that road too. I have. And in that road, they say don't dress a certain way, or don't the cow to milk, the this and that. My grandmother and them would say, oh, you could not dare come to them and you looking raggedy or stank, because they're going to tell you, and I don't care about your feelings, but they're going to lead you the way you should go, and you're going to listen to them. Now, once you get on your own, you can still do it. And the truth is, once you're on your own and you do all the things that they try to cover you or protect you from, you see the ills of it. Everybody will tell you, you know what? I was okay. When I got grown, I have no holds barred. I can do whatever I want. And when I do whatever I want, we'll pay for all the things that I've done. So we as parents can save all our money. We can save our 401ks. We can, you know, buy cars for our kids or put them in the right schools. If they decide they want to go out and sniff coke, okay, that may have fentanyl, they're going to do it. And a lot of parents will run out and say, oh, somebody gave my son drugs. No. Dr. Laura, I think her name is, but please don't quote me. She's one of the twin doctors. She's a GYN and a sexual health lady. She's got this big thing going on about fentanyl poisoning and how they lock the people up that's selling it and blah, 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 blah. I agree with her to some extent, but she lost her son to that. He bought some coke from somebody and it had fentanyl in it and it killed him. But I'm like, lady, look, your son, they didn't put it in your son's nose, arms, or however they did it. Your son went out looking for it and he happened to get poisoned from that. That happens so often. You know how many times, you know, you go to get something and it's off the street and you know, it turns wrong. But now this fentanyl thing is bad. She raised him up in an environment that she and her husband provided for him. They gave him, I'm going to assume, the best they can afford based on their income or what they can afford, and he died of drug overdose. I don't know what his issues was that I got to have drugs, but the point I'm trying to make is we can raise them up the way they should go. They will go wherever they want to go, just like a tomato plant that is indeterminate. It will grow all over and vine everywhere, be bent up, tomatoes still be on it. It will do whatever it wants to do. Boo, true. That's it. Okay, so I'm not going to feel guilty. I learned this recently. I'm not going to feel guilty about anything I may or may not have done wrong, incorrectly, because I know that in my heart, the intent of raising my daughters a certain way, offering what I had, they did not want it. I'm not going to beat myself up about them not wanting what I had to give. That is stupid, okay? And we parents beat our own asses because we have children that don't want the best, what we think is the best for them, and they don't want it. I can't make you want to have a college education if you don't want it. How many times do parents say to their kids, they just assume, because we know they need it, right? So they just assume, you know what, I'm going to get this college fund and I'm going to keep this money intact so that, you know, when baby girl, baby boy decides to go to college, the money will be there. Well, maybe your child don't want to go to college. Maybe they want to go to Fashion Institute. Maybe they want to be a rapper. I don't know. Now you up in arms because your child wants to be a rapper, wants to be blah, 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 blah. And you've been saving with the Gerber Life college plan forever so that they could go to college. And I want my son to become a doctor. What if he don't want to be no doctor? What you gonna do? So I learned that if you don't lose your mind, because you know what? I grow certain foods and stuff. If you didn't want to eat your vegetables, what you gonna do? You raised them up the way they should go, and they went wherever they wanted to go. So sometimes that roadmap has to be revised, and they will revise that map. And you could ask a child, oh, well, what do you want to eat? Now you're setting yourself up to be manipulated by children who don't know nothing. You're going to plan it 40 years. You're going to ask an 8-year-old, what do you want? He doesn't want to eat that. No, you eat what they put in front of you. We put ourselves under restrictions by asking certain questions of them and making requirements of you. And then we got the state intervention where the state makes requirements because the child said this. When we know that this system is not built for the family. It's built to dismantle the family. Back to Dr. Africa. If you dismantle the family, you kill the society. Okay, it's bigger than you think. I'm coming up on over 25 minutes. I'm going to wish you peace and hair grease. Live by the ground. Stay tuned for part 3. Thank you. Later.